This KYM News Morning Update is brought to you by
Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Hafade Guam, I'm Jason Salas, and it took about 8 hours for the men and women and the volunteers of the Guam Election Commission with the precinct registrars and everybody who worked on the election. About 8 hours to tabulate the votes from Super Tuesday, which by Guam election standards is one of the faster tabulation processes, but we now know who the pending certification winners of the various races are. Here is the summary. 67 out of 67 precincts were ultimately tabulated. Better than 60,000 ballots or registered voters participated in yesterday's Super Tuesday for a voter turnout of just short of 56%. In the gubernatorial race, it was the all-in campaign. Lou and Josh, Leon and Tenorio, besting the Republican opposition of former Governor Felix Camacho and Senator Tony Atta by about 4,000 votes. They had a very, very strong campaign all evening long. In the congressional delegate race, it was speculated that Dr. Judy Wanpat could take the seat as Guam's congressional delegate, but it was Senator Jim Moylan who, pending certification, will take his place in D.C. He had 17,075 votes compared to former Speaker Wanpat's 15,427. Congratulations to Senator Moylan on his victory. In the tightest race of the evening, it was the Attorney General race. Leaving Camacho did have the lead for most of the night, and then Doug Moylan, who was Guam's first elected AG, pulled ahead at the very end. Doug Moylan, once again, pending certification, is your next Attorney General. Now to the senatorial race. It was Democrats taking the top 5 places, and of the 15 senators who are senators-elect who are elected, 5 are freshmen. Therese Terlahi, the speaker, the #1 vote-getter once again. The second straight election she's held that position, followed by first-time candidate Chris Malafunction Barnett, incumbent Amanda Shelton, incumbent Joe Sinagasine, who oversees, among other things, finance and budget, and Vice Speaker Tina Rose Munya Barnes. They are followed by a Republican incumbent, Frank Blas Jr., followed by first-time candidate Republican Tom Fisher, first-time candidate Democrat Roy Kanata, and Will Parkinson finally makes the legislature. Of course, his late father, a former speaker in the legislature. Chris Duenas, the minority leader, finished at number 10, did the incumbent Republican. Dwayne Sinicolas, the first-time incumbent, Jay Goodman, Mr. Nice Guy, he finished at number 11, so he is going to complete the work that he set out to do. Telo Taitigui, number 12, of course, she a returning senator, along with Sabina Perez from the other side of the aisle. Senator Perez oversees, among other things, the environment. Joanne Brown came in at number 14, an incumbent, and then Jesse Lujan returns to his place downtown. Right on the outside looking in were former Senator Dr. Kelly Marsh Taitano, along with former Senator Mana Silva Tyron, Sarah Thomas Nedadog, Jonathan Savaras, and incumbent Pito Terlahi were 18 through 20, beg your pardon, respectively. Taking a look at ranks number 21 through 30, former Police Chief Fred Berdallo, Vince Borja, Michelle Hope Taitano, the longtime member of the Guam Pardons Board, Guam Parole Board, I should say. She was number 23. Former Senator Dr. Sam Abini Young was 24. Angela Santos, 25. Ken Leongaro, 26. Sandra Regis Seao, 27. Bistra Mindiola, David Crisostomo, and Ian Catling rounded out the top 30. In the Education Board, Dr. Mary Okada, Peter Alexis Sada, Angel Sablan, of course, Angel, the former Mayor's Council of Guam Executive Director, and Dr. Ron McNinch with the top 4. Maria Gutierrez returns to her seat, as does Lourdes Benavente. Remember, the top 6 candidates are on the Education Board. Elaine Ujoa, Joseph Santos, and Renete Camacho rounded out the list. In the CCU, it was the top 3 out of a group of 6 that make it. Simon Sanchez was the poll sitter. He had almost 16,300 votes. Former Senator Michael Limtiaco was number 2, and former Senator Francis Santos rounded out the top 3 that will sit on the group that manages your island's power and water. Melvin Duenas, Nenito Blas, and Ricardo Umpinko were number 4, 5, and 6. So that is a summary of everything that happened with the election, everybody. Thank you for being with us, and we will have the very latest election headlines, some of the reactions, and some of your responses tonight on Primetime, so please stay tuned. I'm Jason Salas, and enjoy your day.
This KYM News Morning Update is brought to you by
Pacific Points. Do more, get more.